When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. As always, presented by Lyon and Laborers Local 663, who remind us to drive safely in work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. As we continue around the state, talking of fall preseason sports, we bring in Park Hill Central Rebels head football coach Kory Schweiss and the state champion in Class 3 a year ago. Coach Schweiss, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. Glad to have you. It's nice to be talking football again.
It is indeed. It happened so quick and didn't feel like there was hardly any summer.
No, it flies by.
Tell us a little bit. Obviously, coming off of a state championship game, it was 48-34 last year in the state championship game over Seneca. What are you having to replace due to graduation, and who are some of the folks having to step into those roles?
Well, we're essentially replacing everybody, for the most part. We had Jackson Jones, who was a junior linebacker last year that was two-time All-State, and Hayden Carver on the offensive line that, was a third-team All-State selection. But other than those two positions, pretty much everybody, is gone. So we're going to be definitely replacing most of the team this year.
Coach, what's the summer been like, and what have the numbers been like for the Rebels?
Well, to be honest, our numbers aren't as good as what they've been in the past. You'd think, coming off a state championship, your numbers would be probably better, but we just have some classes that just relatively not many participants in football. Our 8th grade class last year didn't even have enough to field a team. I think we had 14 kids, and we did some scrimmage type stuff is all we were able to do. And that's probably the lowest number of students that we've had in any grade entering high school, really since I remember. So, it's kind of disappointing as far as that goes, but we do have a really big sophomore class, and hopefully that class will be enough in there to help our small junior and senior classes, and especially that small freshman class.
We're about 2 weeks into practice here as we open up the season. Tell us a little bit about how that has went, and then what the Jamboree plans are for you Friday night.
Well, so we've, obviously all summer long we've been doing a lot of work. I mean, honestly, the work started for us, as soon as the state championship game was over, and you're starting to think about how to replace people. And I've been doing this a while, so I know, we've run probably 4 or 5 different style of offenses in my time here. And usually the players kind of dictate what you can do. And we've been fortunate for the last 4 years to have some really good quarterbacks and really good receivers and, really, really good everything. And we've been able to kind of sling the ball around a little bit. But, we're going to have to change things up. We obviously don't have those type of players anymore. So I don't really want to go all the way back to the 3-back stuff, but we've done some split back, we've done some I-back, split back veer type stuff. We'll do some things that are more traditional, as far as traditional in the early 2000s, more so than probably the stuff that's more recent. But obviously we'll dabble in that stuff a little bit because we've been able to do it over the last few years, so our kids are familiar with it. But again, personnel is going to dictate a lot of what we're able to do. And we'll try to do some of the same things we've been doing that's been successful. But if we can't execute it, it always comes down to execution. If you don't have the players to execute it, then you can't do it, even if it looks good or is hard to defend. If you can't execute it, it really doesn't matter. So we've got our hands full really on both sides of the football, just because we've been spoiled the last handful of years with some really good talent. As far as the Jamboree goes, we do play down at St. Gen on Friday. I think Potosi, St. Genevieve, and I think Oakville's down there. So we should be able to see our kids compete a little bit, and hopefully that'll help us solidify where we need to put some people.
As you go into a jamboree, especially having to replace what you're replacing, what are some things you're looking for? I mean, obviously you want to come out of it healthy. That's number one. But what are some other goals there in that jamboree?
Well, in a lot of years when I go down to the jamboree, we're playing guys that are vying for spots. We're playing some second team guys to see if we can get some reps. We don't really play our starters a whole lot in the jamboree. I mean, we may a handful of snaps, but not very much. That's not going to be the case this year because we're going to be playing who we think needs to start. Um, and those guys that are going to be vying for those spots, that's pretty much everybody on our team. So, um, you know, it, we're going to be playing a lot of reps, a lot more reps with the guys that we think are going to be playing week one in the jamboree this year than we do most years. But that's because we really don't know yet. I mean, um, this is one of those years I really expect our team to be a lot better in week 9 than they are in week 1. And really that starts in the jamboree. Like we've got a lot of work to do. I could see our lineup being a lot different in week 4 than it is in week 1, depending on how guys develop and how guys are performing. We don't really have the high end type talent guys that we've had in the past, but we do have a lot of guys that are similar. So it's easy to be on the field one week and not on the field the next week, depending on how we're performing. So um, we'll just have to see see how it plays out.
And with regards, I know a lot of folks in Southwest Missouri. There's been a lot of conference changes. The conference in Kansas City changes all the time, and it really changes up people's schedules. What is your schedule any different or noticeably different from a year ago?
Yes, we knew we're good. For the last handful of years, and we've been playing teams like MICDS and Poplar Bluff and Cape Central, and a lot of bigger schools. Class 4, Class 5 schools, Farmington. This year, we kind of tried to. We knew we weren't going to be quite as talented, so we kind of did schedule. I don't want to say scheduled down, but we did take Cape and Poplar Bluff off the schedule. We start with Owensville and Jefferson, R7, the first 2 weeks. So that'll be more, our size schools that we're starting with. And then we still do play St. Dominic week 4, which is a really good Class 5 school. And we still will play Farmington at the end of the year, which is another pretty good Class 5 school. And they're going to be a lot better this year. So we still have a couple really good competitive non-conference games, but now we've added Valley Catholic to our conference a couple years ago, so that obviously makes our conference stronger. And I think teams like St. John and Potosi, Fredericktown, those teams in our conference will be better this year as well. So our schedule is probably, if you were to compare it to last year, it'd probably look a little bit easier, but we still have quite a few really good teams because Dexter, is a non-conference team that was really starting to make some really good strides toward the end of last year, and they have pretty much everybody coming back. So that's another team that's on that schedule that's going to be pretty good. So we'll have our hands full for sure.
Tell us a little bit. First off, what's the name of your conference and who are the members?
So we're in the MAFC White. It's the Mineral Area Football Conference, our Mississippi Area Football Conference. We're in the White Division. Our conference is really split up into 3: a large school, a small school, and a medium-sized school. We're in the middle division with the Class 3 schools. Our conference is basically us, Fredericktown, Potosi, St. Genevieve, and then Valley Catholic, who was in the small division, but when they got the private thing and they moved up to Class 3 that few years back, we added them to our conference, and they're back in Class 2 now, but they're always going to be on that borderline probably now of Class 2 and Class 3, depending on how they do. So I expect them to be probably back in Class 3 next year after they have another really good year this year.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, now a friend of the show. I mean, we have a rule here. If you come on 3 times, you automatically become a friend of the show, and you've been very gracious with your time several times with you and your players over the past couple of years, and we greatly appreciate you being part of the Missouri Sports Network.
Well, I appreciate it. I been doing this a while, and the coverage that you guys do has been top of the line. So I appreciate you guys including us. I know you guys are from a little bit of a different part of the state, but I think that's one thing. I feel like when you can become pretty good, and we've been pretty good lately. You kind of get your school's name out there a little bit. And we've been fortunate enough to do that. And we appreciate you guys taking the time to include us in your coverage.
Very good. And it's, we'll interview everybody. We've had Dexter on in volleyball. I just got done doing Valley Catholic football here just last week, and we had Hannibal, and we've had Liberty North. Of course, they're the Class 6 state champions, but it's I enjoy doing it, and it's selfish really on my part. I just want to know what the heck's going on, and what better way to do it than just start asking the right questions to the right people.
Yeah, I kind of envy you a little bit, because there's a lot of times I want to know how teams are too, especially when you get to this time of the year and you want to kind of put a feeler out there and kind of see what's out there, and you start looking around for information. And now that I've been a part of this, I really enjoy what you guys do, and I like listening to you, to be quite honest.
Well, I enjoy you as well, Coach, and thanks again. And I'm sure we'll talk during a scoreboard show at some point this year, and maybe get you back on the air. But scoreboard shows are all by phone, so that's a lot easier to do than these video stuff.
Well, anytime I'll get on there anytime with you.
All right. Coach Kory Schweiss, Central Park Hills head football coach and defending Class 3 state champions. And we'll be back after this. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great